God bless you. This is Pastor Dennis Martin. Let me first start off by saying thank you to each and every one of you that have sent texts, you've called, you sent posts, you responded, you prayed, and I thank God certainly for each and every one of you. Some of you I know personally, some of you I've never met no more than on social media or maybe in conventions, but your prayers were overwhelming to me. Sometimes you don't know in people care that much, love you that much, but I have to say I've been overwhelmed by all your love, from friends to family to everyone. I just want to say this briefly. You know, sometimes you allow people to tell your story. Then there comes a time you have to tell your own story so people will know it's your story. So about a week and a half ago, maybe, I started feeling chills and didn't think too much of it. Just thought I was having a bout with the flu or something, and did what the old remedy and my grandmother raised me, popped the Alka-Seltzer and thought that was it. Well, 2 or 3 days later, it still was there. And then I just started noticing I didn't have the energy and the strength to do certain things. I really didn't notice, but my wife said to me that you're not breathing right. Again, I'm a man, so I didn't pay that much attention to it. So I went into church to do some services. I was intending to do 3 services preaching. I did 2 of them, and they were really a struggle to do those 2 services preaching wise. And I just couldn't pull number 3 out anywhere. So came home, I canceled my Monday night prayer, which is unusual, and Bible study Tuesday night. And I said, I just don't feel good. I'm just so. My wife came in and said, do you love me? I said, yeah. She said, well, I need you to go to the doctor. I need you to go to the hospital today. That was that Thursday, August 20th. I said to her, well, I'll go. I got 2 projects I got to get finished. So I struggled to get through those projects, but I did finish them, and I got through those projects. Well, long story short, I went to the hospital. They did CAT scan, chest x-rays, put me in a room. It was a struggle for me to really sort of breathe, do things. They tested me for Covid-19. Test came back positive. They admitted me into the hospital Thursday evening, August 20th. Well, next thing I know, I'm hooked up to all these things, and they're saying to me, we're moving you. They had put me in one room, so we're moving you. And they said, we're moving you to ICU. And at that time, when you hear the word ICU, you know, you're like, so I said, okay. They said, you're breathing. We're giving you this oxygen. And it was a thick tube, and I could hear the oxygen actually breathing. And they said to me, you're on, I think 100% oxygen or whatever. You maxed out right now. You are breathing, but you're struggling. And so I'm thinking to myself, what in the world is going on? So here I am, hooked up to all of these things, being shot, blood being taken. So doctors come in, male and female, come in and said, you know, you're maxed out at your oxygen level, which I had no clue what that meant, but I knew, I guess it had to be important. So they said to me, you're doing okay, but you know, you could go the other way. You've got fluid in your lungs. You've got pneumonia. And not only do you have pneumonia, we gotta get this breathing. So eventually they told me I needed to 2 or 3 hours a day to sleep on my stomach, lay on my stomach. So I tried my best to do that. That's difficult, hooked up to all these things, but I tried to do it anyway. So what ended up happening was, in the midst of that, doctor comes in and he says to me, Mr. Martin, I need you to help me. He said, because we've actually given you all the oxygen we can give you. We can't even increase it anymore. And he said to me, I need you to help me. He said, I need you, put your phone down, just get on your stomach, and I need you to do this. He said, because I'm trying my best not to sedate you and put a tube down your throat. He said, that's what I'm trying. He said, that's my last resort. He said, but I need you to help me. So, you know, I've been preaching all these years about miracles and stuff. And so finally they came back 1 or 2 days later and says, you're now out of ICU. And I was like, thank God. And still on this breathing, whatever it is. And that gave me plasma, the thing, whatever the president talks about. I think the other thing is called Resomir or whatever. I got that in the IV. Did all this stuff, shooting me with all this stuff. So, like I said, I've been preaching about miracles and stuff. And I know, you know, God is God. He does what he want to do. So I lay down on my own chest. Said, Lord, this breathing's got to get normal, this oxygen level. And many, many years ago, I preached a message, notable miracles that can't be denied. So I asked God for a notable miracle. And he gave me one. Yeah. Gave me a notable miracle that I can't deny. The doctors can't deny it. So after doing all that, eventually they took me from the thick thing to a single thing, moved me into another room, and then eventually they said, you know, we're gonna let you go home without oxygen, which was the important key, without breathing, some hooked up to me, and everything. And then when I went in, I think I was like 183 or something. I don't know. I know it was 183 because I saw when I got on scale. And when I got home Sunday and did the thing, it was like 163. It's about 20 pounds lighter, I guess. Probably don't need to gain that back, but anyway, that's what happened with that. So these things happen. I want to thank God for Lady Martin, because she was just determined that I was not going anywhere. And between her and my daughter, son, and family and church members, I mean, they were praying like, oh my God. And every day, you know, speaking life, because I didn't know all what's going on. Some things the doctors were not telling me, they were just telling her. And so I had no clue exactly what was going on till later. Once I got home, they told me I had maxed out. So I had came home Sunday, had a virtual doctor visit Thursday of this week, which was, you know, yesterday, for whenever you're watching this. And doctor said to me, your CAT scan showed that your lungs were pretty bad when you came in. He said, every now and then, he said, I've done these cases. Every now and then you run across some cases that unique in themselves with underlying conditions and stuff that people have. He said often it goes the other way. He said in your case, he came very short of saying this is a miracle. He said in your case, this could have easily, and it actually should have went the other way. He said, but you came out of this. And he just kept reading the charts and whatever he was reading. And so I'm grateful to God. God brought me through this. I know there may be some say, well, how did you get it? I don't know. It wasn't in church. So, wasn't, I don't know. I think I have a clue, but I don't. And I don't want to put that out there like that because I don't know. All I know is I did. And, but God brought me through. So I'm happy about that. Still in the land of the living. I pray for those families that have lost loved ones with this COVID-19, with this virus, in doing this pandemic, certainly because there are a lot of my friends. I know I got some friends that went through this that are still recuperating. They're not talking, they're not doing no videos, they're not doing anything. Some of them had to go through rehab, learn to walk again, and literally talk again. So God has decided to bless me, and I'm grateful for that, what he did. So I just want to thank all of you and thank you again for your prayers. Let me say this before I leave. This is more than, I know there are those that will say, spiritual warfare. I believe that. But I want you to understand something in being isolated and being in this situation. There are those that have went through it that didn't have to go to the hospital. They had to quarantine at home. But in my case, I ended up in the hospital 10 days. I've never been in the hospital overnight. And I'm 59. When I say I've never been in the hospital overnight, never spent the night in the hospital. So here at 59, I'm 10 days in. And let's pray for those that are dealing with this and their family members, because I was allowed no visitors. My family couldn't come visit me. Thank God that we are tech savvy, that they were able to FaceTime me or talk to me or things like that. But think about the families that don't have people to that they can FaceTime and talk. I even know people that have lost loved ones in the midst of this that has been where they couldn't even say goodbye to their loved ones. So I feel blessed to be able to be sitting here talking to you after just these days of experiencing and so this is more than just warfare. One thing I really want you to understand, that this was a mental battle, besides spiritual warfare, a mental battle. Because again, no loved ones there, no one's in the room, you're fighting, you're battling. You don't know all the terminologies, you don't know all the medical terms. All you know is you're battling for your life and you're praying, Lord, let me come up out of here. And my wife reminded me, and I didn't really realize it, that while I was in the hospital, August 25th was my grandson's birthday, D3. He turned 6, but it was also the day that my mother passed in 2006. And so, some things be happening, you be like, oh God. So I'm glad I came out, glad the Lord blessed me. And I want you all, please do me a favor. Put your mask on. I did everything. I thought I was doing it right. Put the mask on. Practice social distancing, and don't just take unnecessary chances if you don't have to. I don't think it has anything to do with your faith, but we got to be careful. Sometimes we think things won't hit us. I'm not a human, superhuman person, never claimed to be, and I just never thought out of all this time that I would end up in the hospital. I'm like, really? But it happens. They gave me this thing here. I don't know if you can see it. And they said I need you to, breathe in it and get it up to 500. And I'm gonna tell you something. I was like, I don't even know if I got it first 2 or 3 times. And they kept saying, we need you to breathe in this. So I kept trying to do it. Before I left the hospital, I got to 4,000 up there. And I think I'm pretty much can do it here, hopefully. So it is a recovery process. I've got to follow up and do some more. They want to do a breathing test, do some more x-rays, of course. And so you keep praying for me, because I'm not in a rush to try to prove to anybody that I'm superhuman. And I want you all to be safe. And want you again, thank you for praying for me. Thank you, RRC. Thank you, Lady Martin, for making me go to the hospital. Now that's funny. She made me go. I'm from the old school. I guess she figured I wasn't going, but she said discernment, and she said, I saw some on you. And so thank God we connect ourselves with people that can see and get us to do things. Again, thank you for praying. No, I'm not looking for sympathy and all that. Just, this was an experience, and I don't take it for granted. And I thank God that we serve a God that gives us notable miracles that can't be denied. Thank you, Lady Martin, Lena, D.L. May, Riley, D3, Madison, King, everyone else that reached out, my bishop, my superintendent, others that were praying. I don't want to go to calling names, I don't want to leave anybody out, but just thank you. In closing, let me say this. Life is too short to be holding grudges and fighting, holding things against people, going through changes, trying to mess people's lives up or destroy them or whatever. As you can see, you can be in and out. And thank God that I went in, but I bless God that it came out. And I made it out all right. Thank you again. I love all of you. Keep praying for me. Talk to you later. Bye.